Hey everybody, welcome back to another pet battle video. Kovak here, and for this one I'll be going over what I believe to be the top 10 best battle pets that were added in this expansion, being Dragonflight, what I believe to be the top 10 best pets for PvP pet battles, of course. Now, with the expansion coming to an end very soon and the newest expansion being announced already at BlizzCon, being the War Within, just similar to last expansion where I did a very similar video to this of highlighting the top 10 of Shadowlands. That video did very well, so I figured I'd do the same thing for Dragonflight here. A whole bunch of pets that I had a whole lot of fun playing with and are very, very good for PvP pet battles. So now, before we hop into this video, of course, this is all opinionated. This is all my opinion. Of course, if there's any sort of pets that you don't see that you feel like should definitely be within the top 10 list, please be sure to let me know down below, as I would love to hear about it. This is just my personal top 10 list, and I will leave a list in the description as well, in case if you need that for any sort of reference. But without further ado, let's hop right into this. I'll be going over every single pet, the abilities I recommend you take on them, and then the better breed if there are multiple breeds to them. So kicking off the list here, we have the Troubled Tome. Now only one breed available to it, so no need to worry there. It is from Pachu in the Azure Span for 200 of the Polished Pet Charms, so it can be a pretty penny right there, but you also can get this off the auction house. Now I don't quite recall just how much it cost. Pretty sure it's going to cost you, a good penny, maybe 30k, something like that. The prices may have gone down lately, but regardless, still a pretty damn good pet for sure. So yeah, SS breed, a very low health, but that's pretty good for a magic type right here. He's able to take advantage of his racial more effectively. Now, the obvious build for sure for this pet is definitely going to be Arcane Blast, Phase Shift, and Table of Discontents. But this ability here is the main reason why it's pretty damn good. 6-round cooldown here. It is a trap. It's a magic version of like Magma Trap and Snap Trap, so really damn good right there. Traps are always good in PvP pet battles for sure. Now I guess you could take Amplify Magic if you want to. It's not half bad. It could pair very well with your trap if assuming you can get it to go off while you have Amplify Magic up. But other than that, Phase Shift is probably going to be way better. Having a dodge on a fast pet is usually way better than whatever the hell the other option is. So if there's something you were going to change up here, I guess you could with Amplify Magic, but I highly recommend just sticking with Phase Shift. And then of course Arcane Blast. Who the hell would take Shriek on Troubled Tome? Like, come on. Like, really? But anyway, Troubled Tome, a really damn good pet. Absolutely love it. And I just really love the little animation here of the little book here. The Lofty Librum I really like, so when they kept adding, little book pets like this, I really like them. So, yeah, Troubled Tome. Pick them up if you haven't already. Now, next up here, we do have Stormie. Now, of course, with the name Dragonflight, they obviously did add a whole bunch of Dragonkin pets with this expansion, and they definitely did not disappoint with a few of them. Stormie being one of them for sure. Now, Stormie, once again, only one breed available to him. He is a vendor pet, but once again, you can get him off the auction house, just like the Troubled Tome here. I don't really recall just how much he was. I don't recall him being too expensive. Health power here. Now, you really could go two different builds, as you can see here. You can either go to Call Lightning build with Thunderbolt as well, or you can do Arcane Storm and Mana Surge. Is really your preference there. I think the way better build is definitely going to be Call Lightning for sure, because Call Lightning is just a damn good ability all around. Thunderbolt, one of the best AoE abilities in the game currently, so that's just a no-brainer right there. And then really you could run Jolt or Claw, whichever one you'd like. I prefer Jolt just for the extra damage. Plus, if you get a Dragonkin ratio to pop, then that Jolt's just going to be doing even more damage. So really good stuff there. But if you are going to run Jolt on him with, say, Call Lightning and Thunderbolt, you're definitely going to want to play him like a Bone Serpent, where you're, you know, interweaving your abilities, so probably going for Jolt first, then maybe Thunderbolt or Call Lightning, Jolt again, and then, you know, so on and so forth. That way, you reduce as many rounds as possible of you being locked out of doing anything for a turn. So yeah, overall, really good pet. I do really love him. I love his little model here. It looks awesome and adorable too. I always loved the little proto drake. So Stormie, really damn good dragon. Highly recommend picking him up if you haven't already. Now next up we have a wild caught pet here, being the Rock Martin. It is wild caught, like I said, from the Zerlek Cavern. Not a too hard, difficult pet to acquire. Pretty sure there's quite a bit of them over there. This is not the rare spawn version of this thing. I actually don't have the rare spawn version of the Rock Martin, but I think the Rock Martin's way better anyway. Breed I recommend going with it for sure would be the SS breed. That way you have just as much speed as possible once you're below your racial. And even while you're below your flying racial, you're still going to be faster than things like Anomalous, things like the Mechanical Bendar and Dragonflight, you know, huge threats like that within the current meta. That's really, really good. Unfortunately, you're not going to be faster than the SS breed Guardling, but you know, what can you do? Now, you know, once again, you really can mix and match its abilities here. It will pair very well, I feel like, on, you know, of course, a bleed team. I'm leaning more towards a Toxic Fiends team, like, say, Anomalous or something like that. So you could take Feral Clawstorm there, and that's a 5-round bleed too, so that's pretty good. Rain Dance, and then that Rain Dance will help you take advantage of your Nocturnal Strike here. That way it's 100% hit chance. Now, you could take Blinding Poison as well, and still take Nocturnal Strike, but you have to rely on your opponent staying in on that Blinding Poison. Otherwise, you know, your Nocturnal Strike here is only going to be a 50% hit chance. So Rain Dance is probably going to be the better option there for sure. It's a lot of healing, and then that increased crit chance for 2 turns is always nice as well, especially on a, you know, pretty hard-hitting pet for an SS breed. So that Nocturnal Strike is going to be doing a lot of damage there. Plus, if you do have him on the Toxic Fiends team, let's say, you know, you got Anomalous out, he's already thrown out Poison Protocol, all that good stuff, and you swap over to the Rock Martin, throw up that Rain Dance, that AoE dot damage has that increased chance to crit. So really good stuff right there. Rock Martin here, once again, not a difficult pet to get. Just head on over to Zerlek Cavern and capture one. Once again, SS breed, you know, that speed is always nice within the PvP meta. Now next up, we once again have a wild caught pet that is in the Zerlek Cavern, just like the Rock Martin, being the Endmite here. Now this thing kind of reminds me if you took the Akir Tunneler, one of my favorite pets by the way, and a Living Sandling and mashed them together, because, you know, you still got the Beetle, but he's got Sandbolt like you would find on a, you know, Living Sandling. So of course Sandstorm and Sandbolt is going to be some of his better abilities here for sure. He's got multiple breeds available to him. That is a laughable excuse for speed right there on the SS breed, by the way. I did not notice that until now, but I feel like the Power breed is definitely going to be the one you're going to want to go with for sure. If you run SS, then you're probably going to want to run Screech, but Adrenal Glands here's, it's okay. You know, this middle slot is really where he falls short for sure. But Sandbolt and Sandstorm are definitely a no-brainer. I mean, Sandstorm, of course, all that damage, and then reducing, you know, damage, of course, up under it. And then Sandbolt to decrease their speed, the opponent's speed, by 25% for a turn. And this will help your Endmite pump out as much damage as possible before it dies, because it's slow as crap, as you can see here. A 227 speed, so that will definitely help out a lot. However, if you're running Sandstorm and Sandbolt, Screech is probably not going to be a good idea, so I recommend just going with Adrenal Glands. You know, 50% increased chance to crit for 5 rounds is pretty damn good, you know, assuming that you can get your Endmite to survive that long. But other than that, you know, yeah, the middle slot here is really disappointing. but his Sandbolt and Sandstorm definitely make up for it. Once again, it is wild caught in Zerlet Cavern, so just like the Rock Martin, not too difficult to get. Now, next up we have here is the Briarhorn Hatchling. I absolutely love this thing, not just for its moveset and breed, but just its model in general. It's a freaking mechanical dire horn. I mean, that is just freaking amazing. It is awesome. I love it. It's just too great. Oh, too great. I wish he had more attack power, but you know, we'll do right with what we have here. Now, in order to get him, he is a vendor pet, but once again, you can get him off the auction house. I don't recall if I paid, you know, that much for him, but he probably will cost a pretty penny. He is, you know, pretty damn good, like I said. One breed available to him, so you really won't have to hunt out, you know, a good breed for him. Tri-Horn Charge and then Horn Gore. You know, Tri-Horn Charge is definitely a no-brainer. It's one of the things that makes normal dire horns, you know, that good. Headbutt and Trample. Trample, you know, is actually not half bad. I'm pretty sure it can break Decoy because of the second hit. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, Trample's not half bad, especially if you're going against like a high health pet. You know, 10% of, you know, say like a 1800 HH breed pet. That's quite a bit of damage, quite a bit. But I personally prefer Headbutt. You know, for the extra hard hitting damage and chance to stun is always nice. And then definitely a no-brainer, going to be Call Lightning right here. I don't know why anyone would take Stone Skin over Call Lightning. It'd be like taking it's literally like taking Stone Skin instead of Sandstorm on Anubis Sapphire. It's like, why the hell would you do that? Because they're just fantastic hard-hitting weather abilities, you know. Yeah, Call Lightning, Tri-Horn Charge, and then Headbutt. Once again, you're going to want to play this pet like it's a Bone Serpent and a Weave your abilities, so probably go for Tri-Horn Charge first, and then, you know, decide from there which one of these two you want to go with next. Overall, really damn good pet. I've actually gone against it quite a bit myself, as well as using it, of course. So I highly recommend picking them up if you have not already. And then that mechanical ratio is just, you know, icing on the cupcake. Now, next up, we have Kondu here. He is one of the newest pets within the newest patch, which, by the way, has been quite a fun here lately. So, if you haven't headed on over to the Emerald Dream yet, what are you doing? Because it's actually not half bad. And Kondu is a very easy pet that you can get from the Emerald Dream. It is just a very simple, straightforward quest called Burning Out. You know, it'll take you like 5 minutes to do. And at the end of it, you get a whole bunch of goodies, and one of them is going to be Kondu. Now, once again, only one breed available to it, being Power Speed. He's just got a normal, you know, Power Speed breed here, as you can see. And he's got 2 different builds you can go with. Now, regardless of the build, do not take Slicing Wind. That ability sucks, and if you take it, I'm going to assume that you have a very active imagination. If you know what I mean. So you've got the Emerald Dream Moonfire build right here, and then of course the Call Darkness Nocturnal Strike. It is the only Dragonkin pet in the game that actually has this combo here. You know, most Call Darkness Nocturnal Strike users are, you know, going to be your birds. That's going to be like crows, owls, you know, things of that nature. It used to be the Bone Serpent before they swapped its abilities around, but never ever was there a dragon that had this combination as well. He's the very first one. There are quite a few, you know, Dragonkins will Call Darkness, but never has there ever been one that could also pair it up with Nocturnal Strike. So that's really damn good right there. Especially when you think about pairing that up with the Dragon Racial. Almost said Beast Racial right there. But that is indeed a Dragonkin. Beautiful Dragonkin, by the way, too. It's a, you know, blue coloration of the Nether Fairy Dragon. Which I absolutely love that pet. It's fantastic. But anyway, if you're gonna, you could run this build right here. You've got Moonfire, and then you could deal extra damage with your Arcane Blast up under it. Then Emerald Dream. However, of course, the more viable build is going to be Arcane Blast, Call Darkness, and Nocturnal Strike. This build right here is more of a fun build. This is going to be your more competitive build right here. Of course, Call Darkness, Nocturnal Strike, no-brainer right there. If you can interweave your Dragonkin racial in there as well, that's just a whole bunch of damage. You know, these two abilities already do a lot of damage on their own. You know, add 50% extra damage right there, and it's just a recipe for disaster for your opponent, not for you. So Kondu, very, very easy pet to get. Like I said, I highly recommend getting him if you haven't already, and just amazing pet overall. All right, next up we have Lil Maggz here. Now, at first, Lil Maggz was originally a pet shop pet. You had to donate $10 to Blizzard. Now, I know a lot of people really don't like doing that. However, I'm pretty sure that they did move him over to the trading post. So, if you're the type of person who likes getting, you know, pets and mounts and all that good stuff off the trading post, you just simply have to wait, you know, until he finally pops up on it. I'm guessing he's going to cost like, what, 600, 650 of the trader tokens. That's usually what the pets and the mounts cost anyway, so not too bad for sure. You know, it's not something that's going to cost you gold or anything like that. And the trader tokens are, you know, not difficult at all to come by for sure. Now, only one breed available to it. Very hard-hitting power type, as you can see right here. I absolutely love his model. He is the only pet currently in the game that is a Dreadlord, and it's just, well, I mean, look at that. Fantastic looking. He has an awesome animation when you first summon him. I mean, what more can you love about this guy? He is the hardest hitting cleave user in the game, and back then, Weebomination used to be the only cleave user, I think back in like Warlords. And, you know, his attack power isn't that high, so his cleave hits for crap. Lil Maggz here, 357 attack power. That's almost 400 damage worth of evenly split AoE right there, and that is just insane. Especially if you pair that up with Hubris right here. Oh, well, I mean, actually, no, that would not pair up with Hubris. I forgot what Hubris did for a second there. Now, Hubris is a unique ability only to Lil Maggz here. What it does is deal a lot of magic damage, and then you take a 25% extra damage for one turn. For some reason, I thought it was the other way around, where you deal 25% extra damage. That obviously would make him better. Now, despite that 25% extra damage, he is a magic type, so, you know, if there's a hard-hitting ability coming your way, you're simply just going to soak it up there, so that's honestly not too bad. And then you've got Weakness and Chaos Nova. Chaos Nova is just going to be another AoE, so, I mean, hey, more AoE for you. If they've got some mechanicals on the back row, they're just going to be taking extra strong damage there. Weakness is okay too, but he's just not very fast to take advantage of that. Definitely Hubris over Consume. Consume's just not that good. And then Fell Immolate is okay. Maybe if you're on like a Call Blizzard team, but Cleave is definitely way better. So I highly recommend going with that over Fell Immolate any day of the week on Lil Maggz here. Absolutely love this little guy, like I said. And once again, just wait out the trading post until he finally pops up. And there you go. Alright, next up we have probably, if not probably my favorite battle pet within the newest expansion, to tell you the truth. I just absolutely love this thing. I love the name. I love little animations. He'll whisper you different stuff that you can expect from like Deathwing from Dragon Soul. I mean, I just love him. I think he's beautiful. His moveset's awesome. His breed, just, I love everything about him. He's just fantastic. Yeah, Lil Frostwing here, power breed. He is our WoW's 19th anniversary pet, so he is available right now. All you have to do is just log on a character, check your mailbox, and boom, he's yours. So he's kind of time gated, to tell you the truth, because, you know, an unfortunate Kovak way back whenever I wasn't able to, you know, afford my own account at the time back in Warlords. The Molten Corgi came about, and I just unfortunately did not get the Molten Corgi. It was in the mailbox, and, you know, things in the mailbox will not stay there permanently, so after a period of time it just went away. So that will be the same case with Lil Frostwing here. So if you haven't already, I would just recommend logging on as soon as you can, just so you can at least get the pet here. This thing is amazing. So he is very slow, so he's definitely going to take big advantage of tail sweep here, just deal a whole bunch of damage. There's not going to be very many pets that's going to be, actually slower than him, because 236 right there. Shadow Flame's not half bad. It does have the potential to hit a little bit harder, but I think the reliability of that over 400 damage tail sweep is good enough to take that over Shadow Flame. Now, here's where you can kind of mix and match here. If you're going to play a bit of a fun build, you can go with Frost Nova and Elementium Bolt. Still two pretty good abilities on him. Frost Nova is going to prevent them from going anywhere, unless, of course, they're a critter. And then that will allow you to make them stuck there for a couple turns until your Elementium Bolt comes down and just smashes their face in and stuns them for a turn. That's the fun build. Of course, the competitive build is going to be, Tail Sweep, Call Darkness, and Ice Age here. Now, Ice Age is a unique ability, only Lil Frostwing. Does a crap ton of elemental damage, and then has a 25% chance to stun the target. Now, if you haven't seen the animation for Ice Age, I absolutely love it. I think it looks fantastic. Definitely try it out in PvP and let me know what you think, because I think it's beautiful. It's just this big old block of ice surrounding your opponent and dealing a shite ton of damage, and then that 25% chance of stun is always great. Really, really great stuff. I absolutely love this pet. If you haven't already, please log on as soon as you can. Just get to your mailbox as soon as you can, and then he's all yours. I promise you, you definitely will not regret it. Very fantastic pet right here. Now, next up, we have Aquapo here. Now, I'm very surprised that more people aren't using this thing, because it is surprisingly damn good. It's so freaking good. I use him all the time. And sometimes I debate which is better, Aquapo or Jade Miss Dancer, because he's just so damn good. He is a drop pet from Aquafawn here over in Zerlek Cavern, but once again, you can get him off the auction house if you'd like to do that. That's what I did, of course. I don't think he cost a whole lot, to tell you the truth. A fantastic breed here. Honestly, I wish he had less speed and more attack power, because his speed really does not matter at all. Definitely go with Rain Dance and Thunderbolt. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I've pumped out so much AoE damage with this pet. It is insane. Now, obviously, you can pair him up with Cyclone, Void Cyclone, maybe even Poison Protocol, and that's just going to be so much more AoE damage right there. That extra chance to crit, a lot of healing because of all the attack power. He's got an AoE of his own in the form of Thunderbolt. Once again, one of the best AoE abilities in the game. So as you can imagine, he's just able to pump out so much damage. He's got so much health at that too. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. All that. And then he's an elemental too. So even if you're going against darkness, they're not going to have a 100% chance to hit you with Nocturnal Strike. If you're going to get Sandstorm, you still have a 100% chance to hit and an increased chance to crit, but they got to deal with that 90%. He's just an all-around damn good pet. The only ability I would see you sort of subbing around is Punch over Water Jet. I highly recommend taking Water Jet, because Elemental, I feel like, is way more popular in this meta, to tell you the truth, over Dragonkin. Still do see a lot of dragons, but you've got so many top tier elemental type pets out there, like other Aquapos, a Nightshade Sproutling, the Living Sandling, the list goes on. So I highly recommend just taking Water Jet, but definitely Rain Dance and Thunderbolt. Who the hell would ever take Drain Power and Healing Stream? Come on. You're really shooting yourself in the foot twice if you take these two abilities right there. So yeah, once again, Aquapo, very damn good, underrated pet, I would say. Highly recommend getting him if you haven't already. Alrighty, now we hit the very final pet here. I absolutely love this thing. Once again, that design on that thing looks fantastic. Blizzard definitely took their sweet time with a bunch of Dragonkins, and I can appreciate that, because that thing looks beautiful as hell. That's so great right there. So we have the jeweled Sapphire Whelpling here. It is basically a bronze whelpling, but does its job way better because of that extra speed right there. So the bronze whelpling, you know, it's a standard SS breed. It's fast, but it's not, you know, too terribly fast to outspeed the problem pets. You know, you got like fiendish imps out there. You know, you don't see a whole lot of ore eaters, but you know, ore eaters are faster than it. Actually, I think ore eater, I can't remember. Ore eater's either 333 or 341 speed. I'm not 100% sure on that. Once again, I don't play with the ore eater a whole lot. Used to be a really good pet, but yeah, Jewel Sapphire Whelpling, that extra speed is just so fantastic. You're gonna be outspeeding a whole bunch of problem child pets out there. You're actually faster than the Kiarja Garling SS breed. That's damn good. It just, you know, the list goes on. The list goes on. It is from Jewel Crafting. However, you can once again get it off the auction house if you'd like. There are 4 other jeweled whelplings as well from Jewel Crafting, so that's, you know, that's what I did. I just went ahead and got them all off the auction house. Jeweled Sapphire Whelpling here definitely being the best of the bunch for sure. It is tier 1 without a doubt. Now with that extra speed there, you're definitely going to want to take Arcane Slash. You know, I guess Flame Breath isn't half bad, you know, if you're going against like Anomalous and various other magic types. But Arcane Slash, you know, able to take advantage of that fast speed there, so that's extra damage for you right there. Definitely Crystal Prison over Wild Magic. You know, Wild Magic is okay, maybe if you paired it up with like Flame Breath, but Crystal Prison is just way better. You know, a stun on a very fast pet, it's too good to pass up. Same thing with Liftoff. Once again, you're a fast pet, so you should be going first more often than not, and then coming down with that Liftoff to deal a whole bunch of flying damage. So really damn good pet. Once again, a pet that you really don't see a whole lot. I've, you know, used this pet a bunch and I played against it a little bit, but you know, a whole bunch of people really aren't using it, so maybe we might see a whole bunch of people trying it out once they, you know, watch this video, of course. But yeah, Jeweled Sapphire Whelpling, definitely one of the best, if not could potentially possibly be the best pet that was added in the Dragonflight expansion. So yeah, that wraps it up right there. These are what I believe to be the top 10 best pets within the Dragonflight expansion. So definitely let me know what you guys think down below. Once again, if there's a pet here that you did not see that you think definitely should have been on the list, feel free to let me know down below. Definitely let me know down below what you think is your favorite pet, either, you know, on this list or within the Dragonflight expansion itself. I can tell you right now, my favorite for sure is Lil Frostwing right here. I just, like I said, I love him to death. He's just fantastic. I mean, just look at him. He's just a blue version of Lil Deathwing. He's the baby version of the Azure Windchiller mount right here, which, once again, if you haven't gotten that thing already, definitely go do that, because that event will not be up forever, and then it'll be gone. So yeah, that will wrap it up for this one. Once again, these are what I believe to be the top 10 absolute best pets for PvP pet battles within Dragonflight. Again, please let me know what you guys feel down below. Gonna be doing a video pretty soon of pets that I recommend having, probably top 10, top 15, something like that, pets to have for the very next expansion, being the War Within. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.